Hey GenderqueerChat viewers, Christina here for your Wednesdays on GenderqueerChat. The topic this week is, could you explain the process of transitioning to androgyny and inform the moment after you openly self-identified as genderqueer to others for the first time? The first half of that question, how do you transition to androgyny? That is a very individual thing. I personally have not medically transitioned in any way, shape, or form. I may in the future, I don't know yet, but for now I haven't taken testosterone, I haven't gotten top surgery or anything. I do on occasion bind sometimes if I feel like it suits the day, whatever suits my mood. And I, in terms of, I haven't really changed that much since coming out as genderqueer. I haven't, become more androgynous, really, except for maybe, the fact that I bind now and then. That's really the only major change in my transitioning to androgyny. I have worn boys' clothes since I was in grade 8, so I just kind of thought at that time in my life, well, I can't stand how ridiculously feminine the girls' clothes look, so I want to try out the boys' clothes. So I did that, and then as I grew, I moved on to men's clothing, and that's basically where I have always been. I have, in accepting my androgynous nature, I have gotten to be more okay with myself in terms of I now am okay with wearing men's underwear, which may be a little bit TMI, but just saying. And I have now been okay with wearing men's formal wear, which, when I was younger, it was like I was androgynous. I was wearing very non-gendered kind of clothing, like t-shirt and pants and whatever. But, men's formal wear, suits and ties and things are, very clearly male. So I was, like, hesitant to go into that area. But starting in about 2009, I guess, I wasn't totally calling myself genderqueer at that point. I wasn't aware of that word, I don't think. Or I almost was, but I don't know, maybe I was. But regardless, it was around that time that I started to be okay with, I started to experiment with, wearing ties and that sort of thing. So, and I found that I really enjoyed that. So I was okay with that. So that was, I guess, my transitioning to androgyny sort of thing. Yeah, so it's kind of a, it's a case-by-case basis. If you feel like you need to medically transition, if you're not okay with the body that you were born in, that's fine. There are options for you, hormones, surgery, etc. If you don't feel that you need to do that, that's fine too. You can bind, you can tuck, you can whatever you want to do. Pack, whatever, depending on what body you're born into and how you want to look. Yeah, there's options. So it's very, it's a very individual thing. And just wear whatever clothes you want to wear. I mean, what I'm learning more and more as I grow up is that, something that, in terms of medically transitioning, I have been thinking it over, mulling it over in my head, over whether to ever take testosterone, right? And I've been thinking more now that I can still be androgynous and not medically transition. And same goes with any, gender expression. You can still be you, regardless of what you wear, regardless of whether you medically transition, whatever, you're still you, you know. I mean, if you're not okay with your body, that's fine. You can medically transition, and that's totally cool too. But like, for me personally, I'm starting to learn that, because I think my issue, but this is a tangent. But anyway, my issue is more in terms of society, and that when I go out, you know, I want to make sure that other people see me in a certain way, and you can't always control how other people see you. And the point is that regardless of how other people see me, I'm still me, and that doesn't change. And yeah, just do what you want, you know. I mean, without hurting others, obviously. But that's as much as I can say on that. The second half of the topic: what is the moment after you openly self-identified as genderqueer to others for the first time? So, I came out as genderqueer in, I can't remember which year. I think it was 2010, I think, or 2011. I don't know which. I'm gonna say 2010 because I'm not 100% sure. I think. So I began watching. Okay, so I began questioning my gender. I think the catalyst to me questioning my gender was being in the high school choir and being a tenor. And so I was one of the guys, and I found, hey, I really like being one of the guys. What is this? So then I was like, okay, I'm going to look up words. And I already knew the word androgynous, right? So I remember writing a Facebook status on more than one occasion. Back in the day when Facebook was like, Christina is blah, 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 blah. And then you know, and it was like really limiting. So, so I wrote, you know, where it says Christina is, I wrote androgynous. On a couple of occasions, about 6 months apart each time, I think. I can't remember. Whatever, doesn't matter. So I remember writing that, and I searched up the word androgynous, you know, and I eventually found the word genderqueer, and I eventually found GenderqueerChat, so I watched that for years. I have been watching that for years, and so that was in, I guess 2009, thereabouts, 2009, 2010, I don't know which. And so then I came out as genderqueer, I think sometime in 2010, I don't remember exactly. And, you know, and I remember talking to each of the closest friends of mine and being like, hey, I identify as genderqueer now. What do you think of this? And I had overwhelming support from my closest friends, so that was very good. And, you know, and then, because I sent them a message on Facebook, and they each, I wanted to hear, you know, at length of what they thought about it. So they wrote me a tiny, you know, little paragraph each, and they told me about how, you know, I basically, you know, do what you want, and I'm still your friend, and you know, this does seem to suit you, and blah 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 blah, and you know, listing off good qualities about me and that sort of thing, and it was good. It was very very good support from my closest friends, for sure. I don't think I have those messages anymore. I think I lost them, but regardless, I had quite good support, and still have good support, of course, from my closest friends. And then in terms of my dad, I told him eventually about it, and I don't think he totally understood it, but that's okay. He's never been one to, you know, force me into girly clothes or anything crazy like that, but yeah. I don't know if he fully understood it, but it doesn't really matter. That regardless, he still cares about me, so there's been no issue there. If I were to medically transition, I don't know if that would change, but yeah. No, I haven't really had too much of a problem in terms of identifying as genderqueer. Within the last year, I have been a part of a choir, and that's been most of my social life has been in this choir, and so I have told them I've been very open about being genderqueer in the choir. Last year, I was very open about it. This year, I'm like, well, I don't want to be a one-trick pony and be like, that's all that I talk about is being genderqueer, blah 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 blah. So I haven't really told people. I haven't like officially made it public to everybody in the choir, but some people know, and I'm not gonna hide it. But nobody's gonna ask, right? It's the kind of thing like, I'm not gonna hide it, but but who asks that kind of question? So, I might as I get more familiar with the new people in the choir, because a lot of people left from last year. As I get familiar with the new people, I will tell them, certainly, and I'm sure it won't be an issue. I don't expect it to be. And there's one girl in my choir who knows that I'm genderqueer and knew like right off the bat and could tell. Um, and she keeps accidentally calling me with male pronouns, which I have no issue with. But it's in terms of I mean it's neat, but it would get a little bit on I don't want to say uncomfortable, but whatever, odd with other people. Obviously, everybody else in the choir using female pronouns on me, and she's using male pronouns on me, so that would be a little bit, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, point being, I've been okay with. I've had no issue with support from people around me. The only issue that I've found is that you can't. I mean, and then this is obvious. You can't always talk to your cisgender friends about being genderqueer because they don't get it necessarily. Some of them might, but some of them don't. So that's kind of been frustrating. That I might want to bring up a topic about being genderqueer, and they can't relate to it. So that kind of sucks. But I'm still, I'm still getting good support from everybody around me about it. They have no issue with it, but it's just a question of people don't always fully understand what it means. So that kind of sucks, but c'est la vie. So I am totally rambling on and on, so I'm going to finish this video, and this was way longer than I expected, so I apologize, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.